But today we have a special guest. He's going to introduce himself, but as usual, my name is Peter Lusaya, your host, and
I am Father Angelo Munduni Dema.
Okay, apart from that, then we have our guest.
So thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Dr. Peter Baofu. I'm an American visionary, an author of more than 180 different books in all fields of knowledge, the natural sciences, the social sciences, the humanities, and the formal sciences in all fields of knowledge in relation to the mind, culture, nature, and society, which means that I have engaged in more or less every single topic that you can imagine. And I have proposed more than 145 different new theories and visions of the human future, including some unified theories of everything. And I have been in more than 135 different countries around the world already, including many of them in North Africa, Eastern Africa, Central Africa, Western Africa, and Southern Africa, and the rest of the world.
Let us talk about the issue of climate change.
In the case of climate change, I think that that's also a very important issue. It is not affecting only Africa, the rest of the world. I was interviewed again many times on this issue. Now, Kenya, whatever that might be, there are different solutions but also challenges. And the question that you ask is about should you copy the West? And my answer is no. I think that part of the problem of underdevelopment in Africa is the colonial mindset among the Africans, that whenever they have a problem, they always look up toward the former colonial powers, either France or the UK, whatever that might be. Now you're the US, now maybe China, whatever. They always look up and say, that is what we should do, that is what we should copy. I think no, because if you do that, that's very self-destructive, because you don't know who you are. Remember, you are not a French, you are not a German, you are not a Chinese, you are not Italian, you are an African. So you have to know exactly what you want as an identity. So what you want may be different from other people. You can learn from them. So I think that the answer is no. But in the case of climate change, for example, what should you do? There are a lot of different solutions. One of them, for example, I spoke to some people here in Tanzania. And some of the farmers over here, for example, because the economy is dependent on agriculture in Tanzania.
Yes.
So the majority of them depend on agriculture. And many of the farmers, they are peasants, by the way, and they depend on rain-fed irrigation, the raining season.
Yes.
So when you have climate change, it's getting hotter, the water is less. And when the water is less, if you depend on the rain and the rain is not falling too much, then now you have a problem with your harvest. And those people are subsistence farmers. They mean that they are poor. And that's why they depend on rain-fed irrigation. How come they don't have a more high-tech irrigation? The water can come to them with this kind of different irrigation techniques because they have all this costs money. And they have subsistence farmers. They don't have money to pay for all of this. So now climate change is affecting them. And what do? They lose their farming practices, and many of them moved to the city to look for work. And now you have, in the big city, you see many farmers now, they come to the city, now they're unemployed. Now you have a social problem. You also have an economic problem. So what is the solution for that? There are several things that you can do. One of them is to change your agricultural techniques of farming. Maybe the government can do some help in terms of providing some kind of irrigation to them because they cannot afford to pay for it. But on the other hand, there are also another thing that they can do, like changing what you farm. For example, I was in the Pacific Islands, like Tonga, Samoa, or Vanuatu. They have the same problem that you have. Those are the islands that climate change is affecting them. So I spoke to one of the farmers. He said, I have a solution. I said, what is your solution? He said, look, before it was not too hot. I used to grow this crop. Now it's getting very hot. There's not much water, and all the crops are dying out very quickly. So now I switch from one crop to another crop. Now some crops are much more heat resistant. So now if there's not much rain, it's okay because now I'm not growing this crop anymore. I'm using this one, but this one is heat resistant. Now there's another solution, and now he's happy. Now not only that, he have 2 or 3 times of harvesting each year Before he had only one time, now he can 3 or 4 times. Because it's so hot that it grows very fast, and he have more products to sell. One solution in the US and in some Western countries now, they use biotechnology. When it's too hot, what's the solution? They change the genetic makeup of the crops. You understand me? The DNA. They change them. Now, all of this before, now it's so hot, it died out, but I changed the genes. Now, the gene is much more heat resistant. Now, I'm okay now, but you have to pay for the biotechnology. So there's a solution, but I'm just saying that it depends on how you look into the equation, which one do you choose. Just like you want to marry, there are a lot of people out there that you can marry, but you have to choose, pick and choose. Which one do you choose? It's up to you, but there are people out there. You understand my analogy? To survival solution. There are solutions out there about climate change. But which one do you pick? You have to decide. But I can give you the analysis of some of the framework of understanding the solution and the challenges. So it's not hopeless, but you have to pick and choose. The one which is the best one, the most optimal for you.
What do you